What's going on, guys? Alright, so I'm going to be talking about calorie deficit. Why is it needed for weight loss? Why is it needed for, getting abs and to maintain abs? Why is a calorie deficit needed and required for, a shredded physique and or maintaining a shredded physique? And what is the whole craze about a calorie deficit? So calorie deficit is king for many reasons. For one, it is the main driver when it comes to weight loss or fat loss, because if you're in a calorie surplus, right, you're going to gain fat, you're going to accumulate body fat over time when you are constantly eating in a calorie surplus, right? But if you're in a calorie maintenance, that means you're not gaining weight nor losing weight, you're maintaining that body weight. So when you enter a calorie deficit, that is when your body will start decreasing fat over time. Not just fat, but also muscle, water, and other things. So your body will lose body fat, muscle, and water due to being in a calorie deficit. This is beneficial and very useful for those who are wanting to lose weight or lose fat, and to help with many other factors, such as getting abs and to maintain abs and to get shredded and to maintain your shreds and so forth. Because when it comes to developing and obtaining and or achieving a shredded physique, you cannot achieve a shredded physique by staying in a calorie surplus nor maintenance. You just can't. You can't. And in order to get shredded, you need to lose that body fat, right? And that comes with a calorie deficit and, of course, exercising and focusing on your nutrition, but I'll get into that later. Calorie deficit will automatically just promote weight loss, okay? So that is that. Now, if you add in like proper diet and nutrition and exercise, then that will aid in the process of losing weight. It will aid in the process of, to help maintain abs and to maintain your shredded physique, right? Exercise and dieting is like a add-on to your calorie deficit. But you should always strive for healthy nutrients or healthy foods when it comes to your health and your performance, and when it comes to your weight loss journey, because healthy foods overall will just make everything smoother. The process will be smooth and more efficient, right? But calorie deficit is just king overall, right? You could eat anything, right? Now listen up. You could absolutely eat anything and you can still get shredded by utilizing the calorie deficit method, because you are burning more fat than your body can hold up with, because you are burning more energy than you consume. So when your body doesn't have enough nutrients, right, to utilize as energy, your body will gather energy from somewhere, and that's where the weight loss process comes from, is that your body will utilize its own fat and muscle, but it will use its own fat first to supply your body with energy, and then once it's used up all of its fat sources, then it will utilize your muscle as energy, which will be known as, or it is known as, a catabolic state. You are losing muscle rapidly, and we don't want that. We want to avoid that. So if you're losing muscle dramatically and rapidly, start increasing the calories, and something's off with your protocol, address it and go from there. But when I see people ask questions like, how do I lose weight, how do I promote fat loss, how do I lose belly weight, how do I lose underarm weight, how do I lose thigh fat, how do I go about weight loss, is cardio the trick, is my diet on point, is my nutrition on point, is this on point, is this on point, why am I not losing fat? I'm doing everything, I'm dieting, I'm trying super hard, but I'm still not losing fat. And that is all dictated by your food intake, your eating habits, right? If you're eating too much, then of course you're going to gain weight, you're going to accumulate fat over time, right? But if you control your eating habits to the point where you're not overeating, but yet not severely under eating, right, then you could go about, getting shreds fairly easily. So in order to understand and to find out how to enter a calorie deficit, you need to track your food intake over time. Now, you could do this the manual way, or we could do it the online way, using calculators and set systems that goes off of your weight, and they'll give you a somewhat accurate number of how much or how many calories you should be consuming on a daily basis. But if you're doing it the manual way, which is probably the best in my opinion, because you get to understand the whole process, and you get to understand how your body actually handles food and how it responds to food and stuff to that nature. So in order to determine your calorie maintenance, surplus, or deficit protocol, you need to track your food intake for about a week, and then determine how many calories you are consuming on a daily basis to a weekly basis. And then you simply dictate whether, if you're gaining weight, you're holding on to the weight, or if you're losing weight. And if you're gaining weight over time, if you're gaining weight day by day, week by week, then you're in a calorie surplus. If you're holding on to the weight, then you're in a calorie maintenance. If you're losing weight day by day or week by week, then you're in a calorie deficit. And then from there, it should be pretty much common sense. You make alterations to your calories, and then from there, boom, you have to stick with that number, the calorie deficit number, and then you stick with that calorie number on a daily basis, and then that's all you need in order to maintain, your abs or your shreds or whatever you want, right? That's all you really need. Now, when you add in proper nutrition, proper diet, that will enhance and make things a little bit more easier. Okay, now what I mean by enhance is that, calorie deficit will promote weight loss and fat loss, but when you also focus on proper nutrition, your physique appearance and the way you bring yourself on, and your mental health and everything to that nature will be dramatically improved upon. Okay, so when you eat healthier along with calorie deficit, your physique will look much better compared to eating junk food and staying in calorie deficit. So, and just take this into account that not everyone responds to a calorie deficit that only sticks to poor eating. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to say eat whatever you like and just be in a calorie deficit to promote weight loss and to maintain shreds. I'm not saying that. Not everyone can do that because their body just doesn't respond great to it or at all. So if you're not one of those responders, then you really need to dial in your diet and your nutrition and your calorie deficit. So make sure you strive for more healthier foods, your vegetables, your fruits, healthy sources of fats, carbs, and proteins. And then so to summarize everything, calorie deficit is the main primary driver for weight loss. If you're wanting to maintain shreds, go about calorie deficits. And overall, in order to lose body fat, you need to reduce your food intake. Okay, you need to. So by placing yourself in a calorie deficit, your body has no choice but to lose fat. And that's it, people. Calorie deficit is very easy to understand. It's just understanding how many calories you are consuming and determining whether if you're in a calorie surplus, maintenance, or deficit phase. And then from there, you make alterations accordingly. Thanks for watching, people. Subscribe to this channel for future updates. Leave me a comment down below if you guys have any comments, questions, or concerns, and visit my blog for more informational guides.